Welcome back, my delinquents. We have a case today. We're going to be talking about the KSON situation that unraveled last night while I was sleeping. And it connects to the last video, the Ironmouse leaving Vshojo video. As you may be aware, Vshojo is on fire. Everything's going crazy. People are leaving the company left and right. And I'm going to mainly focus on KSON for this video. It's probably going to be separated into a second one because KSON's saga of leaving deserves its own video pretty much because it was pretty crazy. Also pretty badass. I'm not going to lie to you. So I will go over everyone that has left Vshojo in the next video. But this is about KSON leaving Vshojo / them confronting the Japanese Vshojo CEO live on stream. As from my understanding, KSON is part of the English branch and the Japanese branch, but they had most of their dealings with the Japanese branch nowadays. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'll pin you down below. And so they confront them live on stream asking about these questions, and it also comes out that KSON hasn't been paid since September last year too, so it seems Vshojo just stopped paying people sometime at the end of last year, 2024, which is crazy that they've gone almost a year or 9 months without getting paid, which is insane that so many creators just haven't been paid out by Vshojo. Which I want to know, how strong are their NDAs? Because are they not allowed to talk to each other about their contracts or how much they get paid? I know that's an American thing a bit, that it's taboo to talk about that stuff, though it's very common here in Oz. Or do we think it's a strong NDA? Because I'm not really sure on the work culture difference there, if it's just something you don't talk about. Or is it possible that it's in their NDA that they cannot discuss these things for anyone, even if they're team members? That's just a question up in the air. Okay. We're going to go into this from her first post, then about the video, and then about, the repercussions of what's happening into this and how it connects into the rest of Vshojo. But, guys, a lot of her stream is in Japanese, so I'm going to show a little snippet of it, but then we're going to go over the transcript, because a lot of the conversations in Japanese, obviously the CEO is Japanese, so we'll go over the transcript for it, so we can have a vague idea of what they're saying. I don't speak Japanese, unfortunately. But let's get into this crazy KSON versus the Japanese CEO and KSON leaving Vshojo, where she quit live on stream. Yes, that happened. So this is an accurate representation of where we're at, and this is a bit more of a casual video, guys, because there's just so much happening. We're just going in here. Okay, what do you mean KSON just dragged the JP Ceo of Vshojo on stream to confront him about not getting paid in over a year, and then announced she was quitting to his face live? What the fuck is happening, dude? Chaos is happening. Let's go into this. Okay, so this is the post she made when the Ironmouse stuff came out. She made a post saying she's going to go live, discuss it, and confront the Japanese CEO, which she says in the description of her video before it goes live. And there is some other connecting stories into this, which I will go into in other videos if we don't have time. And then this connects to her stream here, which is here. I'm just going to go into the details before I give you some clippets. So please come explain to all of the fans with no lies, complete transparency. I'll be on Vshojo group Discord. So she was waiting for him to see if he showed up. I'm assuming it wasn't 100% done deal. Most of this isn't in English. I'm going to be for real. She does have a discussion with him and she talks about her feelings. So I'll do a little bit of the beginning because she talks about how upsetting this is.
So I have been lied to from the company a lot about the situation. So my payment stopped last September. I was asking.
That's a long time to go without a paycheck, guys. I don't know if I'm assuming most of their stuff has to go through Vshojo, so that might be any paycheck.
What's going on? For a long time, multiple times, all they said was, it's going to be paid, it's going to be paid, it's going to be paid. And it was never paid. And I think it will never be. Yes. The reason why I waited so long was that if I say, I'm gonna reveal this information and I'm gonna quit. If I say that, I thought they were not going to pay me the amount they owe. And that was scary for me. But, so recently, I've decided I'm leaving. And I was about to tell you guys that I will be leaving this month. And I was getting ready for that. I wasn't ready for today's, whatever came out today. I was not ready. There were so many things that I didn't know, but this is what I know, and this is my story. And I will have the Vshojo CEO, JP Ceo, explain this to you guys. Let's ask the Vshojo CEO Vshojo JP Ceo about what the f***'s going on. I am going to call him right now. This is Vshojo JP Ceo. Are you still the CEO?
For now, yes.
You haven't paid me. So this is what I want to know. And this is what everyone wants to know. Why did this happen? Why? You're telling me that it's not like someone did something maliciously. They just weren't good at it. The finances. Are you getting paid right now? Well, I am not getting paid. While I'm not getting paid, you were getting paid. Well, staffs do have to get paid, so I'm not gonna say, hey, don't pay the staff, just pay us. No, I'm not gonna say that, but just sounds very fair to me?
そうですね。
Talent first, my ass. Was it like staff first?
まあでもスタッフは本当に悪くなかったと。
Is the debt gonna be paid? Is my money gonna be paid? We're even trying to add another talent. Multiple talents to this company. After I told multiple times that they haven't paid me and they have a lot of problems. What was that? What was that? あれは何だったんでしょうか？
まあ、タレントが追加されたこともそうなんです。
Someone could have stopped the situation. It went all the way. It didn't have to go all the way.
そうですね。特になんか、
Did anyone inside Vshojo say, "Hey, there's something wrong. Hey, let's not do this. Hey, let's stop this and let's see what our finances are going. Hey, looks like this amount of money should be paid to the talents and we haven't. Hey, we need to do something about that." Did anyone say anything about that?
進んだですね。
So they were lied to.
まあそういうことですね。
That's a lie. Yes. So that's a yes. So who was lying?
多分その、
なるほど。
はい。
There's legal situations going on, so I can't say anything about the other talents, but if they owe me, I guess.
So we can kind of see she explains in this, and she does get very upset through this. I can see if I can try and find the clip in here of her talking about it in English and how she feels stupid about trusting them. But when you worked with this agency so long, you can understand you would be upset and that you would trust them. You would think that after a certain amount of time, you'd be able to trust them. You would think, unfortunately. But we're going to go into the clip where she quits, and this all connects back to this live that she went into. So she quits live on stream. She has a discussion with the CEO of Japan, and it results in her quitting. We will go over the transcripts. That's why I'm not showing the entire clip into the videos. I will link it below so you can go over it, but it is an hour and a half, and a lot of it is Japanese, because most of what we know about what is said is the transcripts, because most of it's in Japanese, again, but...
はい。
美少女辞めます、今日。
はい。
はい。31日予定でしたけど、今日辞めます。I quit.
I quit Vshojo. Hi. Got anything else, bro? Like, I don't know how much he was lied to from the transcripts, but there was definitely a bit of he also trusting the English brands too much. So it's definitely not just the Japanese side, obviously, because then we wouldn't have the Ironmouse problem. So what is happening, especially seeing it, a lot of people talking about that the main person who started Vshojo is still mostly in charge no matter the restructuring. And so this goes into the KSON interview. I have two parts here, one translated by this person, this amount in the mods, and this one which has been translated. We'll do this one first, and then we'll go into the second one, though I think there is some overlap. And this is the part that has been translated into English. KSON interview CEO with Vshojo JP Makino, translated by chat members and KSON herself. Special thanks to Lord Ashura and Shibuya Kaiho. Note that this is not one-to-one perfect verbatim. It is a general rough translation made of hopes and dreams. Fair. Completely fair, guys. Is KSON speaking? No. Is Maiko speaking? These ones here, but I don't think they've done it on all of them. There are things I can say and cannot say. There are also uncertain things in Vshojo JP. EN and JP branches are different and separate from each other. I was not involved with these discussions. So something that is brought up, I think he does speak a little bit of English about, is that he doesn't get involved in most of EN, and they pay all their money from JP to EN according to him. So he needs to send all their money to EN before they can pay everyone in JP, so it sends over just to come back, which does sound a bit shady. Not saying I understand how corporations work, but you would think you would want to pay out then send over, because I feel like there's like some, like, I don't know, doubling over for no reason, especially why have a CEO if they can't even pay their own employees of that branch. I was not involved with these decisions. We will have an official announcement about Ironmouse eventually. We were told from Vshojo that they were willing to pay and work on it over and over again, but over and over and again. How does he know there was I guess other than, obviously they'll have an official announcement, but how does he know we will have an announcement eventually? So it could sound like there's been discussions about it already. And why would he be involved with her leaving if he's not involved in any EN? Suspicious. It was aware that KSON hasn't been paid and asked for it himself, but just didn't change. I learned about Mouse a few weeks ago. I'm not in the position to look at all the expenses and finances of the US side. So he does have some contact with the US side, obviously, according to this part. So he has no peer into the financial side, according to him. How much Vshojo hasn't paid to their talent? Not sure, and even if I find out, I wouldn't be able to say, how kind of CEO doesn't even know how much his people are owed? JP side is owed? Seems a bit, at least, incompetent. Japan has to receive money from US headquarters to pay their Japanese members. If US don't give money, then Japan can't pay. Japan's side itself has been well financially according to their numbers. And I still haven't been paid. Maybe he's more trusting, but to be fair, he may have been put in that position because this was already planned. We don't know yet. A lot of people are screaming embezzlement, which I'm not going to be surprised if they just took all the money and ran. As shady as that is, it seems very likely at this point because they just seem to be draining all the money. And unless they're really incompetent, I can't imagine they spent it all on Vshojo stuff, just not thinking about having to pay it back. And I still haven't been paid. Japan side itself has been well financially according to their numbers. I still haven't been paid. I'm quitting Vshojo today. My main thing with this guy too, he doesn't mention if he's been paid. He says Japan hasn't been paid. Japanese talents haven't been paid. But has he been paid as CEO? That's what I want to know, because that means Japan has money, but he paid himself first. And I want to know if that's mentioned in here, if he paid himself. You say we're doing good, then why haven't you paid me? I want it now. Pay the talent. Very simple, or no talent will be left. That's obviously KSON. Even though JP does well and it earns money, the EN branch holds the money. I could only see the money going in and out, and it looked fine. But there was money that was supposed to go to talents. So wait, he has money coming in to pay for things, because obviously the wheels are still rolling. So why doesn't he get, say, money for the talents? Weird. I believe Vshojo will be disbanded, because that's how the corpo is structured. Hololive, for example, has an EN branch, but pays their talents in Japanese yen because the funds are held in Japan. Why did this happen? That's why everybody wants to know. Any case of merch sales from outside of Vshojo production, like Good Smile, should have gone straight to her. Potential chromatic ale. Yes, that means that they're probably in charge of every single merch thing and they're holding quite a lot of money. Allegedly, there was no malicious action done with the funds. They were just bad at it. And they didn't think all these years to hire someone that could be, I don't know, good at it. There's managers, there's CEOs that you can take over for you if you're doing a shit job. You don't have to just keep digging a hole. I find that unlikely. I wasn't getting paid, but you staff were getting paid, although much lower than before, like 50%, which I'm not saying you shouldn't be getting paid. We have to pay staff, but it feels massively unfair. The CEO and JP staff have been getting less, 50% pay cuts. So he says. I'll believe him. This is incredibly frustrating. Japan doesn't have enough problem with hiring. We had hoped that things would turn around, but it didn't. Talent first, my ass. The agency is financially supported by fans, and fans usually support the talents first. They were trying to find out if the Japan side could go under some company in JP. I don't know what this means. Maybe they were trying to sell Vshojo JP to a different company if it goes under. He believes the JP side was running well with good stuff. If we can pay back the debt, which will depend on whether Vshojo can come back financially, that will be tough. So maybe they have taken out a lot of loans, but what the hell did they do with all that money? Someone was making a joke that the CEO bought a Lamborghini, not the Japanese one, the EN. So maybe he was living the high life on it. I'd have to do research on his person, because I don't know much about him, honestly. Where did the money go that was supposed to go to talent? Vshojo won't take cuts from streaming, so it's not like we cannot go live tomorrow, but we really gambled on the success of the new talent. So they don't take the money from the streaming, but they do for Ironmouse's Twitch payouts. I don't know if that's optional or not. There are so many things I wish I could tell you, but for legal reasons, I just can't. There's no way they spent enough to in horrendous debt from the new talent. When we focus on making more content, more talent, we were under the impression it would be more profit over loss. Then you've been lied to. Yes, they were bad financial decisions, so they decided to cut up payments instead of costs. That is so dumb. You don't stop paying your talents, you stop doing extravagant projects until it's done. But the problem is, they've obviously overspent on some bullshit. Like, people pointing out there were signs all over Japan. Why did they do that if they were in huge amounts of debt? Post-interview KSON, I feel like this is all over and nothing is gonna get paid. And I feel bad for the fans because it all comes from you. Vshojo owes me a significant amount of money, but it's not about the money, it's about the trust. Honestly, Vshojo feels like they're cruising for a Suin at this point. Here's another part that's translated, but I think some of it is in the previous one. Queson just quit in front of the JP Vshojo CEO because he said that the Japan side of Vshojo is doing well, but still not paying her. Makino, as we can see who's Makino and who's Queson. Amount handled by JP was much lower than by EN. Did you say Vshojo JP itself was doing good? Yes. You haven't paid me. That's what it says on the main company's finance book. Wait, so you Japan talents were not being paid yet? Yes. That's not doing good then. She makes a good point. Context JP does not handle the finances on their own. We were doing good comparing the money coming in to the money going out. I quit Vshojo today. Hi. I was planning on doing it on the 31st, but I'm doing it today. I quit. This is very wrong. I understand. Telling me you could have paid me. Yes. Then where is the money? I want it now. ... Did you just die? That's the thing, like, there is some money to pay for something, so why weren't talents being paid? I feel like he has a lot of plot holes in here. And he's definitely not innocent in his actions here. Like, I feel like there's at least incompetence at play. And now that leads into KSON going into this. So this is, I'll put as many snippets I can find in of English of the KSON stuff. I did watch the video, so I would say these are some of the highlights, other than KSON was very upset in here. But this does go into KSON announcing they're leaving. Unpaid debts are awful. I'm definitely not good at judging people, but I'm the type who says what I think is wrong without holding back, so it might seem that way to you. Even when unfair things happen, there are lots of activists who endure everything without saying a word, showing only a smile in front of everyone, so everyone just keeps supporting your favorites and cheer them on. I think that is a good side to take away from this, that this doesn't mean Vshojo girls are bad, or you shouldn't support Vshojo talent. Just wait for them to leave Vshojo as needed, as that's all you can really do until this is resolved, because no one will know until it goes to court, most likely, what the structure of Vshojo is actually like. Because I feel like there's either a bankruptcy coming in, or they're going to cave, but seeing how much is owed, I feel like it's a bankruptcy, and that sucks ass. And the real question to that is, what happened to all the money? Seeing it's one of the most profitable VTuber agencies, and I can't take the bullshit of, oh, they probably just weren't running at a profit because VTuber agencies aren't profitable. Bullshit. As we know, there are so many talent agencies that are ridiculously profitable. If they weren't making money, it's because of incompetence or they spent it all. It wasn't because no money came in. Shut up. So I'll do this one because it connects to the previous one. Unfortunately, ever since big money started moving, this industry isn't as clean as everyone thinks. And that is the thing. No matter how much people preach about being talent first and giving them a good deal, most of the time, from my experience, they're not giving them a good deal. They're just shaking them down as much as they can. And that is the problem, especially as the industry gets more popular and less people are in it because they like VTubing. You're going to get more and more people just wanting to use these girls and guys and make as much money as possible, and 50% of the time dip because they're not interested in the long term. Where you're very lucky if someone wants to stay in the talent agencies for your long term. That's fantastic, but a lot of people just come in, want to make a buck, and then dip out. And unfortunately, I feel like people's been like talk about VTuber unions and stuff, but I do think we need a better industry standard, because honestly a 50-50 split is kind of bullshit. It's bullshit on Twitch, and I don't think it's a good deal. Taking 50% of someone's income or 40% is not a good deal. Like, maybe if they're not a top earner, but top earners like KSON, Ironmouse, etc. should not be paying that amount of split. Even Twitch now gives you a better split of your subs if you do better. And seeing that it's been released in here that Vshojo definitely was not giving as good of a split as they were claiming to, as it seemed to be close to 30 to 50% of their incomes. And some people like Legal Mindset has been saying that they have seen a Vshojo contract. I'm not sure if they've looked over it for other people. Really, who knows? Because it's hearsay, and the only people that really know are the talents. What happened? And that brings us to the end of the KSON case, guys. That's everything that's happened. She dropped the mic. She went, I'm leaving, I'm quitting. And she said her stuff on this. And honestly, it's very sad that this happened, as this leads into even more graduations or people leaving for Vshojo, which I'll go into the next video because this is already a long video. But there's a lot of them. There's a lot of people that has now left, a lot of talents. And we'll go over that next. And unfortunately, KSON is not the only person that they haven't paid. Neither is Ironmouse. There is a lot of unpaid debt rolling in for Vshojo, and it seems to be creeping up to almost $2 million in unpaid talent stuff alone so far, which is absolutely insane. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to check out the link to KSON's video. What do you think of this situation? Did you expect this to happen? And I'll catch you next time, my delinquents. I'll try and get the next video out in the next couple of hours. And yes, there's going to be a lot of video spam because just so much is happening. And there's other stories I want to do. And I'm trying to do this while I'm sick. So sorry, guys. But see, we started the story. I want to finish it. You know what I mean? Once I'm committed, I'm doing it. And I'll catch you next time, my delinquents.